Hi everyone, it's Adam from Disney. We recently tried the DreamCastle Hotel. This is the first time we've stayed in a non-Disney hotel and we were seriously impressed. We'll give you everything you need to know. Positioned about 600 metres past Disney's Hotel Cheyenne, DreamCastle is one of the closest non-Disney hotels to the park. This is a 4-star hotel, smaller than the Marvel Hotel and in fact slightly smaller than any of the Disneyland Paris hotels. I'd describe this hotel as having a sort of royal theme. Everything is very grand, but it's not done in a tacky way. It looks very polished and looks very good quality. This isn't trying to be a Disney hotel, but it's not a knockoff and it certainly doesn't feel like an inferior product. If anything, I'd say Disneyland Paris could take some tips on how to modernise some of their older hotels. Let's talk pros, cons and perks of staying in an off-site or non-Disney hotel. Firstly, pros and perks. Number 1 is price. A non-Disney hotel is almost always going to work out cheaper. One thing you do need to remember is if you're not an annual pass holder, you need to book your park tickets separately and include that in your price. The saving was anything from £50 to several £100s. Number 2 is breakfast. When we stayed, breakfast was included in the price of your room. This isn't the case in a Disney hotel. Breakfast in one of the parks can easily cost €35. Third is transport. This hotel chain offers a complimentary shuttle service to and from the Disneyland parks with pick up and drop off at the train station next door. These run roughly every 20 minutes and they start before park opening and run well past closing time. If you want to walk, I'd say it's approximately a 25 to 30 minute walk. Number 4, luggage service is available and complimentary 24/7. And finally, car parking. Car parking is free only if you book this through the official DreamCastle site, otherwise it would cost you €15 a night. Now we've had the perks, let's talk about a few of the downsides. Number 1, unless you're a Magic Plus or Infinity annual pass holder, staying off-site means you won't get access to the extra magic hour. As keen rope droppers, we know that you can get a lot of rides done in that first hour, but honestly, it wasn't a problem. It was actually quite nice to get up and have a breakfast before going to the park. Although missing that first quiet hour was a shame, when you're in the parks until closing time, you get that quiet time later in the evening. We didn't feel like we missed out. Number 2 is bag transfers. If you're arriving by plane or by Eurostar, you might not like the idea of having to trek to the hotel to drop off your bags to then head back before you start your holiday. Good news is you don't need to do this. You can use the Disney Parks luggage service or indeed the train station's luggage service. There is a fee for both of these. And our final downside is, while the free shuttle service and transport is good, at peak times, so park opening and closing, they can be very crowded. You're only on the bus for about 10 minutes, so although we've had some very cosy journeys, it's not a big deal, but it is something to be aware of. There's a website that lets you track when the shuttles will leave, which we'll include in the description, and there's also a board in the hotel. Finding the exact bus stop to wait in wasn't as clear as it could have been. Do check to make sure you're getting on the right shuttle. Let's cover what's at the hotel and what to expect. In the main entrance, you're greeted with a stunning foyer that has amazing decorations and details, including this huge stag. There's comfortable seating areas and the whole place feels very bright and modern. The hotel has a great indoor children's soft play area if you're travelling with little ones. There's also an indoor and outdoor pool and spa area with jacuzzi, and there's a gym if that's your thing. The hotel also has a small shop and an arcade. Big call out at this hotel for us was the grounds and outdoor areas. Whilst we visited in November, so it wouldn't have been looking its best, if you're staying in the warmer months, I can say that sitting out on that outdoor terrace would be an awesome place. Next on to bars. There's one bar in the hotel called Astrolabe. This is gorgeous with a huge skylight and a great cocktail menu that we thought was very reasonably priced. This was connected to this big outdoor seating terrace. The bar also serves an a la carte menu as well as waffles, pastries, crepes and light bites. If you're looking for a bigger meal, then you have 2 options. First for breakfast, which is included in the restaurant Le Bosquet Gourmand from 7 AM to 10:30 AM weekdays and open till 11 AM on weekends. This was advertised as a continental breakfast, but there were some hot items available too. The overall choice was great and the food was tasty and fresh, and the coffee was lovely, which is my must-have. Next door is the dinner or the evening restaurant La Rotisserie. This is open from 6:30 to 10:30 PM and costs €35 for an adult and €17 for children aged 3 to 11. This is very well rated. Next, let's talk rooms and prices. We were very impressed with the rooms. Spacious, clean, modern with comfy beds. All of the rooms came with tea and coffee facilities, a fridge, which you don't get in a Disney Value Resort typically, and plenty of USB sockets and plug sockets. I'd say the rooms here are better than many Disney Value Resorts, on par with Cheyenne, which for me is the best of the Value Resorts, and the rooms are far better than say in Santa Fe, Sequoia Lodge or even Newport Bay. The hotel has a mixture of rooms. You've got your standard room that sleeps 2. You've then got family rooms with a choice of different beds that sleep up to 4. Then you've junior suites and then a selection of larger connecting family rooms and family suites. The only thing we didn't love in the rooms were the bathrooms. These were absolutely fine, and if I'm honest, they're on a similar standard to most of the Disney hotels, but we did find it took quite a long time to get hot water. Whilst a minor annoyance, it wouldn't put us off staying again. Overall review of the hotel. I'll be honest, we usually stay on Disney property, but we were keen to squeeze in an extra trip, and with this hotel being significantly lower priced, we decided to give it a go. We weren't sure what to expect, and we weren't sure if we would feel cheated losing the extra magic hours or feel like we were cheaping out by staying out of the Disney bubble. I was beyond pleasantly surprised. The hotel was immaculate, well themed. Whilst not Disney, it was truly delightful. The rooms are spacious and modern, and in many ways better than most of the Disneyland Paris Value Resorts. We will definitely stay here again, and we're keen to try some of the other hotels in this chain. Let's cover a few top tips for booking or staying off-site. Don't forget you need to buy your park ticket separately if you haven't got an annual pass. This can be to your advantage because if you arrive late on your first day or your first night, you don't need to spend the money on a park ticket if you're not going to get into the park. Our second is to consider splurging for an upgrade. The price difference when we stayed for 2 nights between a standard room and a mini suite was €60 a night, and I can safely say that the space and room you would get is probably cheaper than any suite you're going to get in a Disney branded hotel. Final tip is to make sure you take advantage of that shuttle service. Whilst it was a little crowded at times, having an every 20-minute shuttle to and from the park made us feel like we hadn't really left the Disney bubble. And that concludes our guide to the DreamCastle. We hope you found it useful, and if you like this content, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up and hit that notification button. This is Adam, and until next time, just keep swimming.